Pathmonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences, such as case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add a Pathmonk to your website in seconds. Let the artificial intelligence do all the work. Get access to 50% more qualified leads so you keep doing marketing and sell as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. On today's episode of Pathmonk Presents, I've got a very special guest with me joining today. Please welcome Kathryn, Monkcom. She is the marketing automation and CRM lead at AIRA. Kathryn, thank you so much for joining us today. It's an honor to have you on our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. So for all of our listeners out there, tell us, what does your company do overall?
So AIRA is a performance marketing agency. We grow businesses with multi-channel digital marketing that's measured in sales and revenue. So we cover 4 key specialisms: SEO, paid media, content marketing, and marketing automation. And marketing automation is the area that I look after.
That's incredible. So with the solutions you guys provide for your clients and how you help them, how do you mainly focus on that in terms of like their industries, and what industries do your clients really come from? Are you industry agnostic, or do you tend to focus on certain concentrations at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. So historically, we've not had an industry specialism, but over the years, we've found that we naturally gravitate and do our best work in certain industries. So one of those is SaaS, which I know is a big area that you guys focus on at Pathmonk. But also professional services. We do a lot of work with law firms and with financial services companies as well, insurance firms, fintech. We've even worked with challenger banks as well. And then the third specialism is e-commerce businesses. So yeah, we've worked on everything from like B2C brands, EV subscription services, right through to the most complex and what can sometimes be described as like boring or dry B2B products, but we find a way to bring them to life and to make them exciting.
Awesome. Like, that's really incredible too, especially with like, what you guys are doing as well, how you bring them to life overall, and how you're able to provide these solutions for your clients as well with the industries and having that vast knowledge. So in terms of your clients, how do they typically find you? What would you say is your top client acquisition channel? Are we talking more paid advertising? Is it referrals, word of mouth, or is it a mix of a lot currently?
Yeah, so we've been on a really interesting journey with that, because when we started back in 2014, our co-founder and our now CEO, Paddy Mugan, he has a great background in the digital industry, especially in the UK. Like, he's fairly well known, and he had a really great network that we were able to pull from. But over time, we've kind of spread our reach further and further, and we're actually finding that we're working with a lot of US clients at the moment. And we're based in the UK, so that's a new market for us. And I think a lot of UK agencies are finding that because it's a combination of the economy at the moment. It's quite a favourable exchange rate. But also the UK is really leading the way when it comes to digital marketing innovation. I actually had a conversation with someone a couple of months back, prospect, and they kind of expressed, they were like, why are all the good SEO agencies in the UK right now? And yeah, it's just a really interesting market to explore for us. So we're finding that venturing into a new market where we're less known, and the people within AIRA are less known, we have to do more work on both inbound marketing and putting content out there that is educational and is helping our audience, but also outbound and actually making sure that that content gets in front of people. So whether that is, we do a lot of account-based marketing, so selecting key accounts from our target market that are pre-qualified that we really want to work with, and then doing the work and the research to find the relevant people, reach out to them on email or LinkedIn, and sending them stuff in real life, picking up the phone and calling them, all of these different channels to try and get our message and get this educational and valuable, genuinely helpful content that we've created in front of them.
No, absolutely. And I really love too, especially with breaking into a new market. And I think it's exciting for your company overall where, you're in this period of where, growing and then being able to see, okay, how can we be able to go after these key accounts? What are the strategies and initiatives you can be able to get hold of them? So I think it's really great what you guys are like, you have coming down like the pipeline overall. So now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the website. So what would you say are the major strengths of your company's website? And then where are there areas for opportunities for room for improvement?
Yeah, so we just had a website redesign actually last year. And a lot of that was around the messaging on the website. So for me as a performance marketer, I've definitely been guilty in years gone by of kind of being like, well, it's the channel that's important. It's the targeting that you choose. The messaging is just kind of the cherry on the top. But actually what I've come to realize, especially in the last year, is just how important getting that message right is and ensuring that it resonates with your audience and spending the time to get to know your audience before creating any content. So that was a real focus in the redesign process, was creating those strap lines that, while, yeah, they sound really succinct and they sound like really slick, actually the meaning behind them is something that really taps into our audience's pain points and goals. And one thing that really changed my perception on this was I heard Daryl Fielding speak at an event run by the Marketing Meetup, and she headed up brand for Vodafone. And she was saying that when she was at Vodafone, like, it wasn't better coverage or cheaper deals that would win Vodafone customers. Like, she was quite upfront, it was like that we were not the best on those things, but what kept Vodafone customers coming back and bringing them new customers was the way that they kept people updated when they did have issues with the network. They were posting on social media at a time when that wasn't really the done thing, to update on outages on social. And so customers started to perceive Vodafone as a brand that was really reliable. So when she was creating messaging for Vodafone, she really put that reliability and stability at the forefront of the messaging. And that was just integral to setting them apart from the market, but also bringing business customers and high-end customers to Vodafone.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for sharing that story with us as well. Like, I can definitely see how it would have an impact and like how like it would help move things moving forward as well. So now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about you as a leader. So tell us, what do you do on a daily basis? Who do you work with? Who do you report to? And what are things that you do in your current role?
Yeah, definitely. So over the last, I would say 18 months, we've really made an effort in AIRA to build out what we call our senior management team. And that is essentially the heads of each department or channel. So we've just had our Associate Director of Digital exit the business as of today, actually. It's his last day. And he was brought into that role to create this team of really strong individuals that could lead SEO, paid media, content marketing, and marketing automation. So now he's stepping away. We have that really strong team in place. And I actually spent all day yesterday with the team planning for our new financial year, which starts tomorrow. So a lot of my work's kind of split in two. Part of my work is focusing downstream on working with my delivery team on our existing clients and generating new business as well. So I have specialists in my team that work on HubSpot. We're a HubSpot Platinum partner, so we do a lot of campaign builds, email builds, landing page builds, campaign ideation. We work with our clients to figure out how they can use inbound marketing and account-based marketing to grow their businesses. And then also for our B2C clients, I've got specialists in Klaviyo and in email marketing for Shopify as well. So having specialists that can design really beautiful emails and then code them and bring them to life, and put together strategies for e-commerce, email marketing as well, is part of my role, is to ensure that they have what they need to do their jobs, to identify where they've got blockers, move those blockers out of the way, and really just empower them to do the best work that they can possibly do. So we're on a journey with that because we are one of the smallest and newest teams in the agency, but we're looking to scale over the next year. So my plan is that by the end of this financial year, so June 2024, we'll have doubled the size of the team and doubled our revenue as well.
That's awesome. Congrats, congrats and kudos to your team, especially, like it sounds like you've got a very killer team in-house and you guys all work to each other's strengths. So that's awesome.
Yeah, one thing that we have always focused on at AIRA is when we're hiring and interviewing, we wait for the right person. So it's like we need to spend a little bit more time and money using freelancers as a stopgap to wait and find the right person to fill that gap, then we will. We don't compromise on that. And finding people that have the right behaviors as well. And skills, because like you can teach knowledge, you can teach someone how to use HubSpot or how to use Klaviyo. You can't teach them how to have that commercial awareness to be able to build a marketing strategy that marries up with an overall business strategy. So finding the right people in the market can be really tricky, but it's something that is so important. So yeah, that's like half of my role. The other half is reporting upwards to our leadership team and to the board to essentially do what we do for clients, but for AIRA. So to figure out, okay, what levers can we pull to grow this team, to grow this business? Do we need to be hiring? Do we need to be bringing in new clients? Do we need to be increasing profitability, which is a big focus across all teams for this year, is to work out, okay, how can we be using AI and automation tools? How can we be like using one piece of content across multiple channels so that we can create efficiencies for us and pass those savings on to our clients as well?
That's awesome. You do a lot of really great things in your job, and I can see you're very passionate about, what you do in the company and who you work with. So that's incredible overall. So now we're getting close to the end of our interview, and I'm going to send you some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. If there were no boundaries in technology, what would be the one thing that you would want to have fixed in your role today as a marketer?
Oh, that's a really interesting one. If there were no boundaries in technology, what is the one thing that I would want to have fixed? What I would love is, I'm very jealous of SEOs and search marketers in the tools that they have that can analyze competitor activity. And the same with paid media, actually. Like you can go on Facebook ads and see what ads your competitors are running. You can go on Google now and see what ads your competitors are running. You can use tools like SEMrush and Ahrefs to see how your competitors are ranking in organic search. We don't really have anything like that for email. There are some depositories where people have like mass collected, they've signed up for loads of mailing lists and screenshot the emails and uploaded them, which is really helpful. But especially when you're in a niche market, it's really hard sometimes to get a full picture of the campaigns that your competitors are running. And it does take some sleuthing to kind of sign up to their mailing lists and see what they're sending out. But you never get the full picture. And also what you don't get is the performance of that. Like even if you sign up for their mailing list and see the emails coming through, you have no idea if those are working well for them or not. So I would love like a tool that could tell me how my competitors are performing and what's working for them.
That's a dream tool.
Yeah.
I have that tool as well, honestly.
If someone can build that would be amazing.
Who knows, maybe, especially with...
maybe someone listening can build that. I'm ready to invest.
There we go. Amazing. Perfect. So my next one is, what is the last book that you read?
Oh, I can tell you that actually. So I am an avid reader and I track everything that I read.
Oh, I love that.
So I think I just finished one the other day. What have I read? Okay, so I can't tell you the last book that I read, but I've got my list of books that I've rated 5 stars.
Yes.
And the one that I rated as 5 stars was Mad Girl by Bryony Gordon. So she is a British journalist. And she is essentially a memoir about her mental health struggles. So she has OCD. She's struggled with an eating disorder in the past. And she essentially talks through all of her struggles from when she was about a teenager right through to her early 30s, and having her first child and kind of getting married and everything. And it was just so insightful and so honest. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, so I listened to that one on audiobook, and it's so nice to listen to memoirs where the author is narrating it, because it's just like they're telling you a story. It's just like listening to a podcast. So that was a really good read.
All right. I'm a fan of memoirs, so I'm definitely going to look into this one. So we're at the end of our interview today, and I want to thank you so much for joining us on Pathmonk Presents. But I also want to give you the last word. If anyone were to forget about everything we've talked about in this interview today, what is the one thing that you want them to remember about your company overall?
The one thing that I would want people to remember is that as marketers, it's very easy, especially when we don't have access to data, it's very easy to focus on the clicks, the opens, the impressions, the likes. And actually what's important is how that drives sales and revenue for your business. So I would really encourage people to take that as food for thought and think about how you can connect what you're doing to the bottom line of your business.
Amazing advice. That's something that everyone should take. Doesn't matter what part of marketing you're in. That is very crucial, because then it transcends into the rest of your tasks that you do for the company.
100%. And that's what we live and breathe at AIRA. That is our core belief, is that everything we do should tie back to that.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much again. It was our pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And for all of our listeners out there, check us out next week on Pathmonk Presents.